CEO Fredrik Palm and CTO Arto Järvinen of Inify Laboratories. First time at the company's new location here at Campus Solna. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And the lab is really taking shape. When are you ready to take on customers?
So far, we are following our plan, which means that we are supposed to provide diagnostics for prostate cancer in the second quarter this year. We entered into these brand new facilities, as you said, in November, and we spent the rest of last year to install the majority of the modern equipment that is present here in the laboratory right now. And at the same time, we also reached the intended development stage with the IT system that we are building with Arto's team. And thanks to fantastic work with the entire team, we reached basically all the milestones we had set up for the year, which makes us confident that we are moving towards our opening according to plan.
And Arto, you are responsible for fitting the laboratory. What does the CTO do in a pathology laboratory?
In the pathology laboratory, we do have a lot of technology, so that is obviously in my wheelhouse. I also work with our engineering methods and our engineering organization that will help us develop this laboratory and future laboratories. We have, for instance, adopted engineering methods from the space industry. It's a collection of methods called systems engineering, which helps us to define the needs of the customers, to specify and select the components that we use to build a laboratory, and to put the components together in an optimal way to produce the desired output, which in our case is, of course, an accurate pathology report.
But what makes your approach so unique?
We have a number of quite sophisticated components in the laboratory. We have the AI-based decision support tool. We have our own in-house developed software that supports the workflow all the way from the pathology request to the report at the output of the laboratory. We also have some very specific staining procedures that we use to prepare the specimens for generating training data for the AI so that we can improve the AI's performance over time. But I'd say that the most unique thing is perhaps how we combine all these components together using this holistic systems engineering approach.
But you are staffed up with a lot of multi-professional people. How do you manage to lead such a team?
We both need to be good at what we do individually, and we also need to be good at collaborating with each other. So we need to know enough about each other's domains to be able to communicate effectively. So there are a few challenges with that, but it's also a lot of fun to be in this environment, this melting pot of ideas and knowledge, and we learn from each other every day.
And it's what makes you special as well.
Yes, yes, and it's what makes it so much fun to work here. We give seminars to each other. We do interdisciplinary workshops, bringing people from the different disciplines together to work with a certain problem. We also do research together, multidisciplinary research, AI, medicine, laboratory science, and so forth.
Okay, what is the potential you see in Inify's technology?
Yeah, if we by technology mean the whole laboratory as a system, I would say that when this laboratory goes online now later this year, that's a starting point of a hopefully never-ending journey. We will continue improving the AI's performance using our own data from the laboratory. We will add new indications, as Fredrik already mentioned, and we will continuously adapt or improve the laboratory's performance based on feedback that we get from our customers and eventually, hopefully, all the way from the patients. And we will continue conducting research, of course, also in the future. So we intend not only to build the best histopathology laboratory, but we intend to build the fastest learning histopathology laboratory.
Yeah. Well, you start off with prostate cancer. How easy is it to move on to different cancers?
Yeah, so we have prepared for new indications. So one of the requirements when we started designing the laboratory was to be able to add new indications without too much effort.
Okay, Fredrik, can you please update us a bit on the market potential?
Our commercial activities is primarily focused on Sweden and the Nordic market to start with. And there's certainly a strong interest among customers. So we are confident that once we are opening, or once we are open, we would receive samples for real diagnostics pretty much immediately. And footprint in our local market is one of the most essential success factors for the growth of the company and our international expansion. So coming back to prostate cancer, which is our first service to be provided, I mean, it's one of the most common cancers in the world. If we look at the Nordics in itself, we are talking about more than 30,000 diagnostic cases that needs to be diagnosed per year. And if we expand that to a global perspective, we are talking about millions.
So we're talking about a big market here.
Yeah, and such workload paired with the present, so to say, lack of resources in terms of pathologists and laboratory staff, I mean, the need is unquestionable, both to cope with the workload, but also to secure that you have the optimal conditions for the diagnosticians and also, of course, for the patients to make sure that the diagnosis is accurate. And that's where the standardized system that Arto talks about and the AI come into play, which is certainly essential to kind of change this entire industry. The system in itself is prepared for expansion into other diagnostics, and we are already working with some development work in that space, for instance in colorectal cancer, which is a different diagnostic task, but also an even higher workload for the system or for the doctors if you compare with prostate.
We are aging, not just here in Sweden and Norway, but also in the whole world. And that means that the cost of healthcare will increase dramatically. How will Inify contribute in a positive way to this issue going forward?
Current and future workload causes an acute need. We need development, I mean urgently, because it's no way we can sort of say deal with this workload with pure human resources going forward. We need sufficient development. And the service that we are about to provide will increase the efficiency, which enable fast and predictable response times to referrals. The system conditions offers, so to say, a high confidence in the diagnosis that we provide for the pathologist, for the urologist, and also, of course, for the patient. And last but not least, we specialize our laboratory on certain cancer types, which opens up an opportunity to relieve workload from existing laboratories so they can work on certain tasks while we take care of this typical task that fits into our optimal process, so to say.
Can you give us some examples on that?
I have a very clear example. This is where we're standing actually. I mean, in this laboratory that we are standing in right now, it has the capacity to carry the entire workload when it comes to prostate diagnosis for the entire Nordics. And respond to the urologist or the referral in no later than 5 days after the request has been sent. So in short, we combine unsurpassed capacity with optimal conditions for accuracy in the diagnosis, aiming to be the most cost-efficient approach for any healthcare system in the world.
All right, that's it for now. Thank you, Fredrik, and thank you, Arto.
Thank you.
Exciting times.
Thank you.